Welcome to 11th standard botany class, children. By the blessing and grace of God, I am standing before you. I hope all are fine and safe. Children, when you go out, please wear mask. Use sanitizer. Maintain social distance and wash your hands regularly. Okay, shall we begin our topic today? It is a continuation of the previous class. Do you remember what we have discussed in our last class? Yes, it is chapter 5, Taxonomy and Systematic Botany. In that class, we have discussed APG classification. What is APG? Angiosperm phylogeny group classification. And then we studied modern trends in taxonomy such as chemotaxonomy, serotaxonomy, karyotaxonomy, molecular taxonomy. And we ended with DNA barcoding. Today in our discussion, we are going to study cladistics. A closer study is necessary while classifying the closely related plants. Cladistics is one of the primary method of classifying phylogenetic or evolutionary histories. It is used to construct the phylogenetic or evolutionary histories. This cladistics, it is used to group the organisms into clades. What is cladistics? It is a Greek word, clados, meaning branch. Okay, here the clades, they uses the shared or derived characters. The shared characters may be morphological or behavioral type. Here, what is cladistics? Cladistics means, what is cladistics? Cladistics is nothing but it is a method of classifying the monophyletic group of common ancestor. Method of grouping the organisms into monophyletic group of common ancestors based on apomorphic character. Okay. What is cladogram? What is cladogram? Cladogram, it is nothing but the cladistic analysis, that is the outcome of or result of cladistic analysis is called the cladogram. It is represented by tree-shaped diagram. Tree-shaped diagram. Okay. So this is a cladogram, representation of a cladistic analysis. It is in the form of what? Tree-shaped. Okay. Diagram. Now, this cladistics, they use morphological characters. Morphological characters, these clades use at least one shared characters. It may be morphological. Morphological such as leaf, fruit, flower, seed and so on. And behavioral characters, opening of flower, nocturnal and diurnal. Okay. Cladistic uses monophyletic group common. Commonly they use only monophyletic group for classification. Okay. And then paraphyletic and polyphyletic, these two are used for morphologically, it is used for practical purposes. Polyphyletic group is rejected by cladistics. So what is cladistics? The method of grouping the organism into monophyletic group of common ancestor based on apomorphic characters. Okay. Now let us learn what is monophyletic, paraphyletic and polyphyletic. Monophyletic. Monophyletic means here the species or taxa that includes all the descendants of the common ancestor. So this is common ancestor. These are all descendants. Okay. So taxa includes all the descendants of that common ancestor is called as monophyletic group. Next one is paraphyletic group. Paraphyletic group means here this taxa, it includes an ancestor, but not all the descendants of that ancestor. Okay, so it includes an ancestor but not all the descendants of the ancestor. CB, D, ACB, all these are descendants of this ancestor. Next one is polyphyletic. Polyphyletic means this taxa includes all descendants. That is, it includes members of two different lineages. It includes the members of two different lineages. So this is one classification. Okay, this is one lineage and this is another lineage. So these are two different lineages. This taxa includes members of two different lineages. That is called as what? Polyphyletic, which is rejected by cladistics. Okay, now let us learn the need for cladistics. What is the use? Why it is necessary? Okay, this cladistics is needed for the first reason. It is used in the classification of it is now commonly used for creating the phylogenetic system of classification. Most commonly used method is this cladistics only. And secondly, it helps to elucidate, that is to make clear classification. Okay, to make clear classification or based on classification of evolutionary of organism. It is used to elucidate the evolutionary of organism. And then next one, it is used to produce a hypothesis to predict the morphological characters of an organism. So these are the needs. Okay, first and foremost, it is now at present they are using this cladistics to construct the phylogenetic or evolutionary histories. And secondly, it helps to elucidate the mechanism of evolution. And thirdly, it is used to produce a hypothesis which is used to predict the morphological characters of an organism. Okay, so these are the needs. Earlier, if you see, means this cladistics is based on morphological characters, but now if you see, means it is based on genetic sequence data and evolution and computational software. So based on this only, now at present they are constructing this, or this cladistics is used to classify the organisms. So with this we complete the cladistics. Students, now we are going to begin with a new topic called families of angiosperms. In this, there are two families selected under dicot families. One is Fabaceae, another one is called Solanaceae. Fabaceae is P family, that is Pattani kudumam solranga ya, Pattani and the Fabaceae, it belongs to Fabaceae family, P family. Okay, now let us begin with the systematic position. According to APG, that is Angiosperm Phylogeny Group classification, it belongs to Fabaceae belongs to the kingdom Plantae, clade Angiosperms, clade Eudicots, clade Rosettes, order Fabaceae, family Fabaceae. Now let us study the general characters of this family. General characters includes distribution, habit, root, stem, leaf, inflorescence, flower, calyx, corolla, antecium, gynoecium and fruit. Okay, now let us begin with distribution. Distribution here, this Fabaceae family distributed, it is cosmopolitan, worldwide it is present, but abundantly it is present in tropical and subtropical region. Okay, and then it includes 741 genera is there, and then 20,200 species are present in this family. Okay, now next one is habit. Habit here, all types of habits are present in this family. Mostly it is herbs, shrub, trees, small tree, large tree, and then climbers, and then woody climbers, hydrophytes. Okay, so all these types, herb, shrub, large tree, small tree, climber, woody climber, okay, and then hydrophyte is also present here. This type of habit is here. So hydrophyte is otherwise known as, commonly called as fifth plant. Okay, otherwise known as what? Fifth plant. So these type of questions can be asked as 1 mark. Hydrophyte example, Asconomine. Okay, Asconomine aspera. This is the plant name, which is a hydrophyte, which is commonly called as fifth plant. Okay, next one here, root character. Okay, so root here it is a taproot system. Dicot plants means usually they will have taproot system, is it not? So here taproot system with the nodules and tubercles are present. With the nodules, nodes, that is a nodule like a small swollen part which is present in the root system. Okay, or tube-like structures. Okay, tubercles. All these are present so that nitrogen fixing bacteria is present in this nodules. Okay, And the next is stem character. Stem here it is aerial, okay, and then it is herbaceous, woody, twining, and climber. Climber, for example, like this, Sangu chedi, okay. So climbing, it will climb around any support. So and then it will grow. So stem characters are aerial, herbaceous, climbing, and woody. Next is leaf. Leaf here it is simple, okay. Leaf is simple or unifoliate or bifoliate, and then trifoliate. Unifoliate, bifoliate, and trifoliate. And then it is alternate. It will have gap. It is not present opposite. It is present little bit away from the each node. Okay, alternatively it is present. Alternate. And then stipulate. Stipules are present. Leaf base it has pulvinate. Leaf base is thick, swollen. Okay, so if it is present like that means it is called as what? Pulvinate. And then it is reticulate venation, network like structure. Veins are present in a network like structure. And here terminal leaf end modifies into tendril like structure. As in Pisces sativum. In the patani irukku. So in this family there is a tendril like structure present at the base of the leaf. Next is about inflorescence. Here inflorescence is raceme. What is raceme? Do you remember when we studied under inflorescence topic? Okay, raceme means what it is. Here the branch is unlimited. It will grow. Growth is unlimited, is it not? And then older flowers at the base and young flowers on the top. And then acropetal succession. So this type of inflorescence is called raceme. And then example for this is Crotalaria verrucosa. And then next one is panicle. A branched raceme is called as what? Panicle. Okay. If you understand better raceme, what is raceme means, you know what is panicle. Panicle means what? A branched raceme is called as what? Panicle. Example for that is Dalbergia. And axillary solitary. Axial part. Okay. Inflorescence arise at the axial part and it is single. So it is called solitary. Example Clitoria tenacia. Okay. And then next is flowers. Flower characters. Flower here it is bracteate, having bract, and then it is bracteolate, and then here it is pedicellate, having a stalk. Okay, flower have stalk. And complete, bisexual, pentamerous. Bisexual means both the sex organs are present. 5 sets of parts are there. Okay, pentamerous, floral sets, and then heterochlamydious. Okay, and then zygomorphic. Zygomorphic means what? It is bilateral. Okay, it can be cut only. The flower can be separated only at one plane. Okay, only in one plane. It will give 2 equal halves. That is known as what? Zygomorphic. And next one, hypogynous or sometimes perigynous. Okay, hypogynous, here the ovary is superior. These are all the flower characters. Bracteate, bracteolate, pedicellate, complete, bisexual, zygomorphic, heterochlamydious, and then hypogynous or sometimes perigynous. Next one is about calyx. So calyx here it is of 5. Okay, calyx that is it is composed of what? Sepals. So here the sepals are 5. Syncephalous. Syncephalous means what? Sepals are united. And then here it is in the form of tube and persistence. Tube and persistent. Here the estivation is valvate. That is a margin, they both meet at each other. Okay, they won't overlap. And then sometimes it is imbricate. Imbricate here, 1 large petal and then 2 lateral smaller than that of the large, and then anterior position it is very small petals are present. So this type of arrangement is called vexillary, imbricate or descending. Okay. So this type of arrangement you could see in the calyx. So calyx here it is made up of 5 sepals and then syncephalous and then tube present in the tube or persistent, valvate or imbricate estivation. The next one is about corolla. Corolla here petals are 5. Then apopetalous. Petals are 5 and then apopetals. Apo means what? Free. Petals are free. Then papillonaceous. Vexillary or descendingly imbricate. As I told you before, here 1 petal, that is standard petal, which is large and present at the posterior, and 2 lateral it is present, okay, at the side base, which is smaller than that of the standard petal, and then below that in the anterior position there is another 2 petals are present, which is so small, okay, smaller than the lateral petals. Okay, so this so one is standard, which is present in the sideways. It is called lateral or wing petals, and then which is at the anterior position, it is called as what? Heel petals. Heel petals or carina. Okay. Next is about the androecium. So androecium here, if you see, means it is different from one flower to the another, because here in Clitoria tenacia, if you see, that is in this flower, if you see, means, so this Clitoria tenacia, it is of two colors. Okay, one is white, another one is called purple color. Now here if you see, means the androecium, which shows diadelphous. Diadelphous means di means two, that is androecium are grouped to form two bundles. So 9 plus 1 arrangement, 9 forms one bundle and one is free. Okay, so this is 9 plus 1 arrangement, which is diadelphous. And another in Ascainomine, if you see, means in this plant, in this flower, if you see, means here 5 plus 5 arrangement. Okay, 5 plus 5 arrangement. This is also diadelphous only, 5 plus 5. That is 5 is longer filaments, another 5 will have short filaments. Okay, shorter filaments fused to form two bundles. And then another, sometimes the stamens are monodelphous and dimorphics. Okay, monodelphous means what? Forming a single bundle. Okay, so such type of androecium is also present in this flower, in this family Fabaceae. Another thing here, anthers. Anther here is dithecous. Okay, dithecous, two lobes are present. Anther is divided into two lobes. And then basifixed. The fixation of the filament towards the anther is basal part. So it is basal fixed and dehiscent longitudinally. Okay, transverse longitudinally, lengthwise. So these are all the characters of androecium. Next, now let us study about the gynoecium. So gynoecium here it is called monocarpellary. Gynoecium is monocarpellary, single carpel and unilocular. Only one locule is present. Ovary is superior here, and then with the alternate of two rows of ovules. Marginal placentation. Okay, so monocarpellary, unilocular, superior ovary, and then marginal placentation. Style here, if you see, means okay, that is in the center part, is it not? That is above the ovary, the style present which connect the stigma and the ovary. That part, if you see, means it is simple and bend. Okay, and then stigma is flattened. Stigma is flattened or feathery. So gynoecium is monocarpellary, unilocular, marginal placentation. Style is simple and bend. Stigma flattened or feathery. Next, let us see about the fruit character. Fruit here it is a legume. Okay, so legume is this one only, Pisum sativum. Okay, patani. So what is legume? Here the seeds are inside. Okay, and then which is covered by a structure, is it not? So this type will come under what? A legume. Pod. This is called as what? Pod. Sometimes it is indehiscent. Indehiscent means what? What did we study? That is the fruit do not split open. Okay, that is called as what? Indehiscent. For example, rarely a lumentum. Example, desmonium. So this is an example for what? Legume. Indehiscent example, desmonium. Okay. In Arachis hypogaea, வேர்க்கடலைன்னு சொல்லுவோம் இல்லையா, மல்லாட்டா வேர்ன்னு சொல்றீங்க இல்லையா, so அதுல பாத்தீங்க நிலக்கடலை. So Arachis hypogaea, here the fruit is geocarpic. Geo means what? Under the soil. Okay, that is fruits develop and mature from underground. Okay, under the soil. So this is called as what? Geocarpic. Example, Arachis hypogaea. And next one is the seed. Seed here it is endospermic or non-endospermic. Endospermic or non-endospermic. Non-endospermic example, Pisum sativum. And here mostly it is reniform. Reniform means kidney-shaped structure. That is called as what? Reniform. Children, we have completed the general characters of family Fabaceae. In Fabaceae family, we are going to enter into another topic called botanical description of Clitoria tenacia, commonly called as Sangupushpam. Clitoria tenacia. In this, we are going to learn the habit, root, stem, leaf, inflorescence, flower, calyx, corolla, androecium, gynoecium, fruit and seed. The general characters of this particular plant. Okay. Shall we enter into the topic now, children? Okay. Now the habit. Habit is twining climber. Twining climber. So this is the plant. Clitoria tenacia. Okay. It is a twining climber. And next one is root system. Since it belongs to dicot family, it have branched taproot system. Branched taproot system. Next character is stem. Stem here it is aerial, okay, weak, and then twining, okay, aerial, weak, and then twining stem. Leaf. So leaf character here it is imparipinnate. Imparipinnate means what? Here odd leaf end at the end. Okay, so odd leaf is present at the end. There is no pair. Okay, that is why it is called as imparipinnate, and it is compound. Okay, and then alternate. The leaf arrangement is alternate. It is away. Each leaf is away from the node. Alternate, and then showing reticulate venation. Network like the veins are present in the form of network like structure. So it is reticulate venation, and then stipulate. It is petulate. Since the presence of the petiole is there, it is petulate, and stipules are pulvinate. Pulvinate means what? The leaf base is swollen or thickened. Okay. So that is all about the leaf. Imparipinnate, pinnately compound, alternate, and then stipulate, reticulate venation, stipulate having pulvinated, and petiolate also. Next is inflorescence. Inflorescence, if you see, means it is solitary and axillary. Solitary means what? The flower is single and it is arise at the axial part. So it is called axillary. And here the flower. The flower here it is having bracteate. Okay. So bracteate. That is why in the floral diagram it is represented as bract. Here bracteate. Okay. And the next is bracteolate. Bracteoles are present. So it is bracteolate. And then here it is usually the bracteoles are larger, and then it is pedicellate. Pedicellate means what? The stalk of the flower is called pedicel. So it is called pedicellate, presence of pedicel. Heterochlamydious. So all the four whorls are present. So it is heterochlamydious, and then complete. The flower is complete. The calyx, corolla, androecium, gynoecium is present. So the flower is said to be complete. Bisexual. Both the sex organs are present. Androecium and gynoecium. Pentamerous. Here the floral parts are of 5 sets. So it is called pentamerous, and then zygomorphic. So if you cut a flower at any one plane, it gives 2 equal halves. So it is called as what? Zygomorphic or bilateral. And then it is hypogynous. Hypogynous. When the ovary is superior, the flower is said to be hypogynous. Okay. So the flower is bracteate, bracteolate, and then large, pedicellate, heterochlamydious, complete, bisexual, hypogynous, and pentamerous, zygomorphic. That is all about the flower description. Next one is about calyx. So here the calyx, it is made up of or composed of sepals. Here it is green in color, which is 5. Okay, and it is syncephalous. Syncephalous means sepals are united, joined. Okay, and then showing valvate estivation. The margin just meet, it won't overlap. So if it meet, it is called as valvate estivation. And the next one here is odd sepal is anterior in position. Odd sepal is anterior in position. Next one is about corolla. Corolla, it is made up of petals. So what you see, this blue color, that is called as what? Corolla. Sometimes it may be white or blue. Okay, so here you can see the corolla, which is white in color or blue in color. It is apopetalous. Apopetalous means what? Petals are free. Okay, and then it is irregularly papillinaceous, showing descendingly imbricate estivation. So here this one large, which is one is called as what? Standard. So there are 5 petals. One is on the top, which is standard petal, and there are 2 which is at the lateral side, that is called as wing petals. Okay, and which is at the bottom, there are 2. Okay, that is called as what? Keel petal. So one standard petal, 2 wing petals, and 2 keel petals. Totally 5 petals are there. Okay, and then the type of estivation here is descendingly imbricate estivation. Next, let us study about the gynoecium. Okay, so here the gynoecium is monocarpellary. Gynoecium is monocarpellary, unilocular, marginal placentation with many ovules present in that, and then ovary is superior. I told you flower is hypogynous. So the ovary is what here? Superior, and here the style is simple and incurved. Okay, style is simple and incurved with a feathery stigma. Stigma is feathery. Style is simple and incurved. Stigma is feathery. Okay, so gynoecium here is monocarpellary, unilocular, only one carpel, only one locular. So monocarpellary, unilocular, and then many ovules present on the marginal placentation. Marginal placentation. Okay, and then fruit. Fruit is here, it is legume. Okay, fruit is what? Legume. Legume is what? The seeds which is enclosed inside. This is a pod, is it not? So all this comes under what? Legume, Fabaceae family. Fruit is legume. Then the seeds are non-endospermous here. Non-endospermous, and it is reniform. Reniform means what? Kidney shaped structure. And then now let us study the floral diagram. That is all about the general characters of Clitoria tenacia. Now let us study the floral diagram. So this is a floral diagram of Clitoria tenacia. Here bract is present, is it not? So this is bract and it is represented by BR. Okay, and then bracteoles are present, so it is represented by BRL. Okay, in order to avoid confusion, BR means bract, BRL means bracteoles. And then it is zygomorphic percentage here, is it not? This percentage represents the zygomorphic. Zygomorphic means what? When a flower is cut into at any one plane, it gives two equal halves and it is represented as percentage. And next symbol is bisexual. Since ambitium and gonium are present in the same flower, it is bisexual flower. Okay, and then calyx. So calyx here, this one is called calyx. All the calyx here, there are 5 calyx are there. And then it is all joined. Okay, since the palace, is it not? So it is represented by K. In order to avoid confusion, K for calyx, C for corolla. So here K 5, it is inside the bracket. So there are calyx 5 and it is all joined. So it is written in bracket, inside the bracket. Next one is corolla. This is called corolla. This is what? Corolla. And here corolla is 5. Okay. So one on the top, that is on the posterior end. Okay. So that is one is large, which is called standard petal, and there are 2 petals which is on the lateral side, which is smaller than the standard petal. Okay, these 2 are called wing petals, and below that, which is in the anterior position, which is called the keel petal. There are also 2 petals are there. So one standard petal, 2 wing petals which is on the lateral side, and below that in the anterior position there are 2 petals which is called keel petals. Okay, and then below that, so it is represented as C5, corolla 5. Then androecium. Androecium 9 plus 1. 9 is in the bracket. Why? Because here all these are androecium is diadelphous, is it not? There are 2 bundles. So one is here and one is free. Okay, there are 9 stamens are present here. Okay, in the androecium, and then one is free. So it is apopetalis. Apopetalis. And then this one represents the ovary, which is on the marginal placentation. Ovules, many ovules are present on the marginal placentation. Only one gynoecium composed of monocarpellary, unilocular, with many ovules on the marginal placentation. Okay, and it is it is a superior ovary, is it not? So which is represented as G. Below the G we have drawn one line, is it not? It represents superior ovary, and there is only one carpel, so it is 1, represented as what? 1. So this is how we have to draw the floral diagram and want to write the floral formula. This is an important question, children. Botanical description of Fabaceae, general characters of Clitoria tenacia. Okay, so this is a 5-mark question including floral diagram and floral formula. So usually as a 3-mark they will ask the floral diagram alone, or along with the floral formula they will ask 3-mark question as draw floral diagram of Clitoria tenacia. Okay, so anything asked, it can be asked as a detailed answer as 5-mark. Describe the botanical description of Clitoria tenacia, or it can be asked separately as a floral diagram alone, or sometimes in one word they can ask the floral formula. So these families are very, very important. So listen carefully, understand the concept, children. So with this we complete the botanical description of Clitoria tenacia.
Students, now we are going to learn about the economic importance of the family Fabaceae. So here we are going to learn the binomials and the common names, useful parts and their uses. It is very important that we should know the binomials of the plants which we use in our everyday life. So when I read the binomials, listen carefully and practice the words. This family provides us lot of benefits to us as pulses, food plants, oil plants, timber plants, medicinal plants, fiber plants, pith plants, dye plants, green manuring, ornamental plants. So all this type of benefits we get from this family. Now let us begin with the first use as pulses. The food what we take, most of the pulses is from this family only. Gejanus gejan. Now I am reading the binomials, so listen carefully children, and then you can practice later. Gejanus gejan, which is commonly called as Pigeon pea. Phaseolus vulgaris, which is called as French bean. Caesar aritinum, which is commonly called as channa or chickpea. Kondai kadalai. Vigna mungo, black gram, ulundu. Vigna radiata, green gram, pasipairu. Vigna unguliculata, cowpea. Glycine max, soybean. Macrotyloma uniflorum, horse gram. So all these pulses we use in our day-to-day life. From these pulses, the part we use is seeds. What is present in these pulses? Pulses are rich in protein and starch. So when we consume these seeds, we get protein and starch. Next uses is food plants. What are the food plants which is provided by this Fabaceae family? It is Lablab purpuris, field bean. Avaran solvom illaya adu. Sesbania grandiflora, agathikirai. Siamopsis tetragonaloba, cluster beans. கொத்தவரங்கன்னு சொல்கிறோம் இல்லையா அது. ஸோ லேப் அண்ட் Siamopsis, these plants, tender fruits are used as vegetables. Sesbania grandiflora, here we use agathi, கீரைன்னு சொல்கிறோம் இல்லையா, greens. So all these are cooked and consumed as vegetables and greens. Next, this family provides oil plants. Oil plants such as the plant name called Arachis hypogea, groundnut, Pongamia pinnata, Pungamaron சொல்றோம் இல்லையா, that one. So Arachis hypogea, you all know, from the seeds of that they extract oil, and then the seeds also edible, and the oil which we use for cooking. Pongamia pinnata seeds. Here Pongamia oil has medicinal value, and also it is used in the preparation of soap making. So this family Fabaceae also provides us what? Oil. The next one is timber plant. Timber producing plants are Dalbergia latifolia, commonly called as rosewood, Pterocarpus santalinus, which is commonly called as red sandalwood, and Pterocarpus dalbergoides, padak, then Pterocarpus marsupium, vengai maram சொல்றோம் இல்லையா, that one. So all these trees provide timber, which is used for making furniture, cabinet articles and building materials. கட்டடம் கட்டுறதுக்கு, சோஃபா அந்த மாதிரிலாம் மேக் பண்ணுறதுக்கு, மேக்கிங் ஃபர்னிச்சர்ஸ், டேபிள்ஸ், சேர் இதெல்லாம் பண்ணுறதுக்கு, தென் கேபினெட் ஆர்டிகல்ஸ், ஃபார் ஆல் this timber is useful. The family Fabaceae also produces certain medicines to us, which cures certain disease and disorders. The plant Crotalaria albida, roots of this plant is been used as purgative. சுத்திகரிக்கிறதுக்காக, purgative, which is also used for dysentery, to clean the stomach. Next one is Soralia caudilifolia. Soralia caudilifolia. The seeds of this plant is used for leprosy and leukoderma. தோல் நோயின்னு சொல்கிறோம் இல்லையா, அதுக்காகவும் தோல் வியாதிக்காகவும். வெண் நோயின்னு சொல்லுவாங்க. லியூகோடர்மா is, in Tamil it is called as வெண் நோய், which is caused because of pollution, skin problem. Then in commonly it is called as in Tamil கார்போக அரிசி அப்படின்னு சொல்லுவாங்க. The next one is Glycyrrhizus glabra, அதிமதுரம். Glycyrrhiza glabra, அதிமதுரம். The roots of this act as a, which is good for immunomodulator. Immuno அப்படின்னா என்ன, நோய் எதிர்ப்பு சக்தி. So when the person is affected by HIV virus, first that virus will affect the immune system. So in order to help to activate, boost or to restore the normal immune function, this plant roots will be given to that person, that is Glycyrrhiza glabra. It is a good immunomodulator. The next one is Mucuna pruriens. Mucuna pruriens, பூனைக்காளின்னு சொல்லுவாங்க. In Tamil it is called பூனைக்காளி. The seeds of this is used for neurological remedy. Neurological remedy means it is a good medicine or therapy for neurological nerve disorders. For that it is a good medicine. Mucuna pruriens. So all these are considered to be a medicinal plants. So from this topic they can ask, write few medicinal plants of the family Fabaceae or food plants, or they can ask the binomials of pulses. So as 1 words, 2 mark and 3 marks they can ask. Next useful part or a plant we get from Fabaceae family is fiber plants. நார் தரக்கூடிய தாவரங்கள். Crotalaria junctia. Crotalaria junctia, which is commonly called as sun hemp. The stem of this are fibers, stem fibers, which are used for making ropes. And even in the plant Sesbania aegyptia. Sesbania aegyptica. The stem fibers are used for making ropes. Okay. So these are fiber producing plants. Next let us study about the pith plant. Pith plant. Ascinomen aspera. Ascinomen aspera. Pith. What is pith? It is a white soft spongy tissue. Okay, white spongy tissue. With the help of this tissue, it is present in the stem pith part. Pith we already studied when we studied the anatomical feature, is it not? Which is the center part, which is white spongy tissue, which is used for making packing, handicrafts, packing goods. They are using this for making packing materials and for handicraft, கைவினை பொருட்கள், and for fish floats, fishing floats. Fishing floats means what? So when they go for catching the fish, they use the வலை மாதிரிலாம் யூஸ் பண்ணுறாங்க இல்லையா, கயிறு மாதிரி இல்லாமல் ஃபைபரில் இருக்கும் அந்த மாதிரி வலை, இல்லை பிளாஸ்டிக் ஷீட் மாதிரி இருக்கும். ஸோ தட் இஸ் கால்ட் அஸ் ஃபிஷிங் ஃப்ளோட்ஸ், விச் தே யூஸ் டு கேட்ச் த ஃபிஷஸ். நெக்ஸ்ட் uses is dye plants. Okay, so here the plant which gives dye from this family Fabaceae is Indigofera tinctoria. Indigofera tinctoria. It is commonly called as auri. The leaves of this plant, they produce a blue color dye. So when we grind and filter, we will get a blue color dye, which is used nowadays for hair dye also. And then it is also used to print, color printing, and in paints also they use. Okay, so since the color of this leaves color, when we squeeze we get what? Blue color dye. So it is useful in printing, painting, and also for hair dye. Next is Clitoria tenacia. Here as well as Butea monosperma. Butea monosperma. Here the flowers, seeds, both. In Clitoria ternacea, flowers and seeds are used as natural dye. Butea monosperma, flowers are used as natural dye. Okay, that means flowers and seeds they will grind and then they apply, they use it as what? Natural dye. Then next uses is as green manuring. These plants directly they can use it as what? Green manuring. So Indigo ferratinctoria, entire plant, and then Tephrosia purpurea, Tephrosia purpurea, Gliricidia sepium, Gliricidia sepium. So all these plants are used as entire plant as a green manure, because here they has a nitrogen fixing bacteria which is present in the lateral roots. So in the roots of this plant there is a nitrogen fixing bacteria is present. Since it will enrich the plant with nitrogen, and then it is used as a good green manure. So since there is a presence of nitrogen in the plant, it is used as a green manuring. The entire plant can be used. The next is ornamental plants. அழகுக்காக வளர்க்கக்கூடிய தாவரங்கள். Butea frondosa, commonly called as flame of the forest. Clitoria ternacea, சங்கு புஷ்பம். Lathyrus odoratus, sweet pea, and Lupinus hirsutus, lupin. Here these plants grown as ornamental plant, entire plant. Okay, so ornamental plant, Butea frondosa, Clitoria ternacea, Lathyrus odoratus, Lupinus hirsutus. All these are grown as ornamental plants. Okay, so with this we complete the economic importance of Fabaceae, that is it provides us pulses, food plants, oil plants, timber plants, medicinal plants, fiber plants, and then pith plant, dye plants, green manuring, oil plants. So we get lot of uses, beneficial products from this family Fabaceae. Now let us continue with the next topic.